Gamers are a very passionate group, and sometimes that can come across as hate. Despite how much gamers love their hobby, there's certain aspects of it that, honestly, we love to hate on. And kicking off our list today of things that gamers love to hate is loot boxes. And they really started picking up steam around 2014 thanks to games like Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. And then EA started picking them up for their sports games, and Blizzard made them a central element of progression in Overwatch. But gamers don't want to grind for RNG rewards. We want to grind towards specific things. You guys remember back in Halo 3 and Halo Reach where you could only get the really cool armor pieces if you worked for them? Loot boxes take away from that sense of pride and accomplishment you got from unlocking a great armor piece or a cosmetic item or a weapon camo. And it's not like that anymore. And speaking of pride and accomplishment, EA. Oh, EA. Do you guys remember when EA was different before they became different? They have rapidly become one of the most untrustworthy companies in gaming, and that's saying something. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot wrong. They have a lot of disrespect toward their customers in certain situations, and yet they're still generating ridiculous amounts of money. Go figure. It's probably not going to change anytime soon. Early access and beta. Now, I'm definitely thankful that smaller developers can use early access programs to help fund their games during development and get some solid beta testing in before the full release. The last few years have seen a slew of games that are actually kind of abusing the early access tag. Now, many indie developers are using it. They're using it the right way. And there's also plenty of devs just trying to make a quick buck off the system while avoiding criticism by stamping beta on the cover. Now, I guess it's a double-edged sword because smaller devs can really benefit from putting games in early access, but other smaller devs just ruin their reputation for a quick buck. Call of Duty. Now, COD used to be on top of the gaming world with quality releases like Black Ops and the Modern Warfare trilogy. However, they have fallen pretty far, and they are now one of the most common targets for hatred due to their lack of self-awareness and their pretty bad business model with hundreds of dollars worth of DLC and microtransactions in a full-price game that is lacking content and usually full of bugs. And yet, they're still the top-selling game year after year. So it worries me. Will they change their practices even if the money is still rolling in? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Season passes. Speaking of season passes, I'm pretty happy they're seemingly on their way out. Season passes used to actually be a decent thing in the gaming world, but they quickly became abused by big-name publishers and are now one of the most hated things about AAA gaming. Okay, you're asking me to pay $50 now for content later, and you're not even telling me what I'm paying for. You're telling me that the millions and millions of copies your game sells and the tons of microtransactions, you can't just supply free updates and not split the player base. Thank goodness this trend looks like it's starting to go away. The Epic Games Store. Now, when Epic announced they were launching their own store, a lot of PC gamers were excited. They were going to get to see some big-name competition to the current top dog, Steam. But Epic quickly lost the public's good perception by paying off publishers to pull their games from Steam and make them exclusive to the Epic Games Store, a store with subpar security and abundance of missing features that the competition has right now. Fans definitely weren't happy about Epic trying to create a console-like ecosystem on the PC, and there's probably no way that we've heard the end of this whole fiasco. Hopefully, they get it all sorted out. QuickTime events. Let me ask you a question. Can you think of a single QuickTime event in any video game that wouldn't have been improved by just making it a gameplay section? QuickTime events were popularized in the mid-2000s by games like Resident Evil and Uncharted, but they've quickly become hated by gamers due to how much they break the immersion and how unnecessary they often are. Press F to pay respects. Come on now. Battle Royales. A lot of people say, can we just stop making Battle Royales? Now, I'm glad we got games like PUBG and Fortnite and Blackout, but where does it stop? Now, if I asked that to a AAA publisher, the answer would be absolutely we do. But if asked to the average gamer, they'll probably tell me they're ready for a new trend. The gaming industry always goes through trends, and recently, it was all about sandboxes. Then before that, it was third-person cover shooters, and now it is Battle Royale. So, I wonder, what do you think the next gaming trend will actually be? Fallout 76. Bethesda couldn't catch a break with this game, but most gamers just enjoyed the ride. There was something mesmerizing about Bethesda's mismanagement of Fallout 76, and while it did make people pretty scared for the future of the studio, specifically the state of Elder Scrolls 6, it was definitely a fun few months of just watching from afar as this broken mess of a game just kind of burned in a dumpster fire. Fortnite. Now, at first, most people don't mind Fortnite. But when it started really blowing up and it started popping up everywhere, the gaming world started getting tired of it. Fortnite is probably never actually going to die, but there are tons of people who really want it to, and I get it. I see both sides. If you ask me, Fortnite is probably going to be the next Minecraft. It'll go up and down in popularity, but it's never actually going to go away. And eventually, it's going to have its own toy section in Target. People love to hate on Fortnite. There you go. Those are 10 things that gamers love to hate. You let me know in the comment section, what is one thing that you love to hate on in the gaming world? My name is Chaos. This has been another episode of Gaming Facts by Gameology, and I'll see you soon.